panic had set in around me. I felt it in the weight room. I felt it in the ambulance ride. I felt it in the emergency room. And I definitely felt it in my heart. So I just closed my eyes and started to pray. My mama had sacrificed so much for me, going through this to the end. My son wasn't going to be without a father. No way, no how. It won't happen. Just a regular day, regular day at the job, at the workhouse, regular day in the lab, regular day on the bench, regular weight. Next thing I know, I'm gasping for air.
Mid-morning, September 28th, Stafon Johnson, with a spotter, was bench pressing 275 pounds in the USC weight room when the bar slipped from his hands and fell on his throat.
How does that happen when you have a spotter?
This guy's been lifting for years and years. You just stand back and let the guy do his work. There was nothing uncommon about it at all. It was just a real fluke deal.
I was in my office and someone came in and told me that he had had an accident, and I ran down to the weight room and he was sitting up and he did like this. And with that told me to call his mom.
He said he got hurt in the weight room and they're gonna take him to California Hospital.
Coincidentally, Johnson's mother, Kim Mallory, was at a service call for her job as a sales rep at the same hospital they were taking her son.
I could hear the ambulance coming. He pulled up. I told the paramedics, I said, I'm his mom. I got ready to open up the door. They took him into the emergency room and I told them, I said, he's trying to write something. And he wrote in there, he said, it's hard for me to breathe.
I just vaguely remember, just sitting on the operating table and trying to figure out where that next breath is going to come from. In the back of my mind, it's like, man, this could probably be it.
This was probably the worst laryngeal injury we've ever seen. Absolutely. I mean, the crush force here literally crushed the walls of the voice box completely. It stripped the entire lining of his larynx, and it tore both his vocal cords.
This type of injury is so traumatic, it is often fatal. The doctors spent 7.5 hours rebuilding Johnson's throat and vocal cords.
We're basically in a race against time. The more time went by, the more things got swollen and the more fragile they became. And it was basically like putting together wet tissue paper. We had one chance to put each puzzle piece in its position, and if we got it wrong, that was it.
I woke up in some strange place. I had a tracheotomy tube, and now I was breathing through my neck. My life was saved.
It's very emotional. Very emotional. Tubes and breathing machine and things that it was just hard for me to look at. Matter of fact, I ran out of the room.
I woke up to my best friend. I asked him how many weeks I'm gonna be out. He just put his head down, shook his head. And from that point, I kind of knew, it's not good. I just kind of broke down at that point.
What we told him was, you had a major injury. Do not move, do not swallow, do not cough. If you don't follow directions, you may never get these tubes out.
Johnson followed doctor's orders. 3 weeks from the accident, he went home from the hospital, and eventually the tubes were removed. Soon after, he heard his whisper for the first time.
He said hello, and we all jumped up and down.
I was so happy when I did it. I'm like, man, let's do something. I want to say hi to other people.
Another procedure could have made his voice stronger, but Johnson instead elected to have surgery to widen his windpipe to give him more breathing capacity so that he could start working out again. A month and a half after being released from the hospital, Johnson was back in the gym. His goal is to play football again. That meant facing the bench press.
I was so nervous and so I didn't know what to do. that it felt as if it was so much weight, but it wasn't at all. As time progressed, it got easier and easier.
Before the injury, Johnson was scheduled to play in the January 30th Senior Bowl. Doctors have cleared him to play. He says he'll be ready.
No fears. Just knowing that if you have faith, you can do all things in Christ that strengthens you, no matter what. They said that my drive and determination allowed me to speak when others would have been speechless. They said that my mind allowed me to rise above and succeed where others would have given up. I was going to make it. That's what I thought. There was no doubt. I had something to prove.